Robert Ward and Sissy Houston for the Blues break this morning. Touching. You know, I haven't been this touched since Catholic church camp. No. Okay, we played freeze tag. Okay, team-based freeze tag was actually a great time. You don't have to go there. We shared a lot of laughs, and there was actually a competition for most valuable player, and it was really close, but in the end, Father Smithers tagged the most campers because he played for both teams. Hey, I've got a story for you today, and it's a sad one. And it's still very new, so please be patient with me if I start to break down. But I went through some heartbreak recently, and I won't go into detail about who or why, but Sarah Jones, and because she's mad that I'm always right about everything at any given time. We split, her and I drove home, heartbroken, in the pouring rain. It was over the weekend, this past weekend, when we had those crazy downpours. I pulled into my driveway after what felt like an eternity, and I ran to my porch, collapsing on the lawn chair that I'd left there. I sat in silence and thought for a minute, then two. I sighed an exasperated sigh and leaned back in the chair, tilted my head back, closed my eyes, and took a few deep breaths. When I opened my eyes, I jumped, because I was looking at the roof of the porch, and on it sat a huge wasp. I jumped back, expecting the wasp to fly toward me, but it didn't move. And then I got ballsy a little bit. I tested it. I got a little closer. I even clapped a few times, but the wasp had sat still. Finally, I realized it must have gotten wet in the rain. It couldn't move. So I sat back down. And the wasp and I shared in a mutual pain. We were from different worlds, that wasp and I, but in this rare, candid instant, how different were we? I stared at the wasp for a bit, but after a couple minutes, trusting his immobility, I looked back to the world. A couple minutes more, and I found myself talking to the wasp. I knew it couldn't talk back, but I hoped it could listen. I introduced myself. I talked about what I did, what I wanted to do, where I was going, and finally my fears, my problems. I promised the wasp that time is the answer. Time would fix my broken heart and dry his dampened wings. But it wouldn't stop there. It would reveal where we were going, what we were doing, why we were doing it. And we'd be okay. I looked back to the wasp, then its wings were twitching like the corners of my eyes. He started moving, one small appendage at a time, and I watched as it fell from the roof and took to the air. I killed it with a shoe. Tune into The Juke. It's the show that airs every Sunday right here on WMSV from 6 p.m. to midnight. Blues music, blues that will rid pests from your porch. Imagine Dragons. I got up next for you. It's Believer. I'm Brock St. Clair. It's WMSV.